Hello, my name is Tom Linardi. This is the fourth part of my tourney bracket. The 1 seed in the South region is Duke. Duke's second round opponent will be North Florida or Robert Morris, depending on who wins. Either way, I still think that Duke would beat either team. The second matchup is San Diego State against St. John's. Even though San Diego State will destroy St. John's on the boards, I believe that the Aztecs will not be able to score enough points. And that's how you win, scoring points. St. John's and the Red Storm will continue on in their tournament hopes. Our second matchup is a 5 versus 12, Utah against Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin pulled off a huge 12-5 upset last year, but I don't think they're going to do it this year. I believe that Utah will beat them. The next matchup is Georgetown against Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington beat Montana on the road to get into the conference tournament, but I believe that the Georgetown Hoyas will beat them. The next matchup is SMU and UCLA. I believe that UCLA should not have made the tournament and Temple should have, but the committee did not think so. They had UCLA in. Either way, UCLA is going to lose. SMU won the AAC title on the road against UConn. They are a very good team. The next matchup is Iowa State against UAB. UAB also won their conference tournament, but I believe that Iowa State and George Niang will beat the Blazers. The next matchup is a 7 versus 10 Iowa against Davidson. The Cats of Davidson, Steph Curry's old team, entered the A10 for the first time ever. They had a tremendous year, winning the regular season title. I believe that they will be able to hold off the Hawkeyes. The final second round matchup is Gonzaga against North Dakota State. Kevin Pangos had a great year, and I believe that will be enough to beat the Bison. We now move on to the third round. The first third round matchup is Duke against St. John's. These teams met earlier this season, and that was the game where Coach K picked up his 1,000th win. Well, Coach K will add another W to his resume, as he will pick up his 1,000th something in a win against St. John's in the tournament. Our second matchup is Utah against Georgetown. The Hoyas have been rolling, but lost to Xavier in the Big East tournament. No worries. The Hoyas, I believe, will still beat the Utes. Our third matchup is SMU against Iowa State. Iowa State overcame a 17-point deficit against Kansas in the Big 12 Tournament Championship to knock off the Jayhawks. Iowa State is hot right now, and I believe they will beat SMU. Our final third round matchup is Davidson against Gonzaga. Gonzaga won their conference title, and as I said, Kevin Pangos had a great year. So did many other players on that team, as I believe that the Zags will continue on and only have 2 losses on the season. We now move on to the Sweet 16 or the regional semis. Duke will play Georgetown. Even though the Hoyas were hot until that loss against Xavier, Duke and Jahil Okafor and Mr. Cook, I believe, will still knock off the Hoyas. Iowa State will then play Gonzaga in the second Sweet 16 matchup. Iowa State, even though they have been very hot, so has Gonzaga been. I believe that the West Coast Conference champions will continue rolling. Duke will then play Gonzaga. Duke, I believe, is just a better team. They played a tougher schedule, had 2 more losses, but tougher schedule always means you're going to have more losses. Gonzaga played a weak schedule, and their only good game was against Arizona, where they lost in overtime. Duke will win the game. Duke will head to the Final Four along with 3 other teams: North Carolina, Kentucky, and Michigan State. Well, that's all we have for the 4th part of our bracket challenge. We will then continue with the 5th part, the Final Four, on our next time. This has been Tom Linardi. See you next time.